So these shlokas indicates that how when Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that yadgatvan anivartante taddama paramam mama. Once you come to the spiritual world, to my abode, my personal abode, you will never come back again to this material world. So sometimes these questions are very much prevail in our minds that we came from that world, we came from that spiritual world. So what is the guarantee again we don't come back to this material world? But these are the instances which are clarifying those doubts which are prevailing in our mind, that Kumaras, they went to their Gyanis, their Brahmanas, they went to spiritual world with the desire of having darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they are fortunate enough to have darshan of the Lord, and they are fortunate enough to have darshan of the Lord indicates that they will never come back again to this material world. So what makes them not to come back again to this material world is that they have not forgotten their material position. When they were in this material world, what was their position? They have not forgotten. You see, sometimes we know that how when people, yesterday I was reading one article, somebody, I think so, some name, I forgot that person name, who won 5 crores in Kaun Banega Crorepati, Amitabh Bachchan show, maybe a few years back. He is from Bihar. He earned 5 crores. Then he says that the worst phase of his life. Worst phase of his life. Because after earning 5 crores, he became drunkard. He became all bad habits. He got into all bad habits. And he was about, the internal family problems. He has almost about to give divorce to his wife. All such kind of. This is the worst of my life. He's a school teacher, I think so. So what is the position? People, once they get attain some opulence, they'll forget their realistic life. And that's how they become further spoiled. But here is an indication, even after attaining opulence as good as God, living in the association of the Lord, entering the Vaikunta, where there is no kunta, there is no anxiety. You are totally free from anxiety. People think that if you have money, you are free from all problems. Then once money comes, actually all problems comes further. That is the nature of this world. But here he entered Vaikunta. They are all 4 Kumaras, they entered Vaikunta. They are free from anxieties. But still they have not forgotten from where they have come from. The remembrance is not taken away. That is holding them back. Oh, I don't want to go again there. The struggle. So the problem here in this world is that when we take birth, apaha, matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha, apohanam. We don't have the remembrance. We've forgotten everything, what happened in the previous life. That's how again we start, from very beginning. School jao, padhai karo, shadi karo, family chala lo, kuch dhanda karo. Everything again we start, a cycle. Then again we'll die. Again we start because we will not remember anything. But even though we don't remember, but our life is driven by those instances what happened in the previous life. See? So if somebody become devotee of the Lord, what is the benefit? Benefit is smritir jnana apohanam cha. He will give that ability to remember. Jnana, the knowledge. He will give that ability to remember what to be remembered, what to be forgotten. Whatever is helpful for us to remain being situated in Krishna consciousness, that ability Krishna will give. We may forget many things. Sometimes we will, memory loss or memory loss or doesn't matter. If everything you remember, that's all, you will become pagal ban jayega. Life will become miserable if you remember everything. But we should remember that my life is meant for Krishna's service. Then the fear will come. Oh, where that opportunity to service may go away from my hands. See, that is the kind of fear these Kumaras are expressing. We know our past. We know our past. Our past is Rajoguna, driven by Rajoguna and Tamoguna, because material world is predominantly Rajoguna and Tamoguna taken over. Even though this is Sattva-guna, but very minute quantity. Even somebody like Satyaloka, people who are living in Satyaloka, they are supposed to have only Sattva-guna, but even they are not devoid of tinges of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So that is the reason he said, A Brahma Bhuvanar Loka. Even after going to Brahma Loka, Satyaloka, you may have to come back again, because these tinges of Rajoguna and Tamoguna still there, in spite of Sattva-guna is a predominant there. So here Kumaras are humbly praying to the Lord, O Lord, please take away this Rajoguna and Tamoguna, shades of this Rajoguna and Tamoguna, that kindly drive away the elements of Rajas and Tamas for the sake of the demigods and twice born. Why? Because Krishna is saying that Brahmanas, he gives so much of importance to the Brahmanas. The whole Krishna's submission. Why we say submission? Because he is asking apologies from the Brahmanas. That case, like Prabhupada says, this shows that Krishna wants to teach us, all of us, that how much importance Krishna gives, Lord gives to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So it is so important for us also to develop such kind of respect, obedience to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas' words. So this is very important, very instructive, this thing, that how when we work in Krishna consciousness, when we work in the path of Krishna consciousness, when we drive our life, our lifestyle in the path of Krishna consciousness, what is the benefit we'll get? The benefit is that we'll never forget this struggle, what we are going through. That should indicate whether we are really becoming devotees or whether just taken it for granted, whatever is opportunity is given is taken for granted. Most of us actually don't have ability. We don't have qualification even to come to Krishna consciousness for that matter. It is a great opportunity, a great boon which is given. In fact, they're requesting by your grace, which is pure goodness, and is the bestower of all blessings. So it is by His grace we got this opportunity. By pure devotee's grace, by Srila Prabhupada's grace, we got this opportunity. So we should always remember that how we should never bereft of such kind of shelter of a pure devotee. Then we'll be able to progress in our Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, what will happen? This popular nature, comparison nature, and competitive spirit. Prabhupada says in one place that begging is provision in Krishna consciousness. Begging for one's own survival, for one's own maintenance of his life is forbidden. But whereas in the Vedic literature said that begging is authorized, is a bona fide. For whom? It is for Brahmanas, it is for sannyasis, it is for brahmacharis. Because they have very clear indication what a brahmachari is supposed to do. Brahmachari is supposed to bring every alms, all alms what he is begging. It is meant for Guru, it is not meant for him. A sannyasi who is completely situated, he is totally renounced the world. He is always meditating on the Lord. His begging is for the benefit of the grahasthas, the family men. By contributing to sannyasi, they are actually contributing, they are engaging in the service of the Lord. The Brahmanas, they have responsibilities in the society of guiding the society. So they are not engaging in factory work. They are not engaging in cultivating the land. They are meant to guide. They are recommended in the society as the head of the society. So they have very minimal. They don't engage for their maintenance as such. We all know that how Chanakya is advisor to Chandragupta, King Chandragupta, such a great, is a prime minister. But he used to live, his livelihood is very simple. He used to live in a jhopdi or kutir outside the city. You can enjoy all facilities. We know how Prime Minister Bangla, President Bangla, how big it will be, acres of land. So many servants. But here was the Prime Minister to King Chandragupta. He used to live in outside because he's a Brahmana. He doesn't care for the wealth. He cares for the society. He cares for the welfare of the people. So those days people were the Rajarshis, kings are Rajarshis. Rajarshis, what is the priority? What is the prime duty of the Rajarshi? Rajarshis are the one who work for the elevation of, spiritual elevation of the common people. How that is worked out? That is to institutionalize the prescribed duties in the society. This is called Varnashrama system. So in that Varnashrama system, there is a position for a Brahmana. And that's how, because this Varnashrama system, as Kumara says here, Dharmasya te bhagavatats. O Lord, you are the personification of religion, Dharma. You are the personification. You are the one who are given Dharmasya. That you are the personification of Dharma. It is directly given by the Lord Himself. What is the shloka? Dharma sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Is directly given by the Lord. And the one who is caretaker of Dharma is also considered as good as God. The king, Kshatriya. And those kings who are actually, carrying out the Lord's order as described in scriptures, they are called Rajarshis. So there is a different kind of society. In Krishna consciousness, we should not just take over the positions of, we should know that where we are by our culture, by our action. Are we situated in a right way in Krishna consciousness? That depends on our activities. So Prabhupada says, the moment you beg for your gratification, the moment you beg for your livelihood, then gone. You are no more in Krishna consciousness. You may be acting, you may be in the part of the movement, but still moment you try to take something for your personal life, you will become disqualified. You are not properly situated in Krishna consciousness. That is the reason we also have a culture in our organization that anything we take from the people, that is directly should be for the service of the Lord. Even sometimes people with a good intention, Prabhuji, please take for yourself. Laptop le lijiye, watch le lijiye, mobile le lijiye. We immediately should reject. No, we should just with folded hands. No, whatever is required for me, it will be given in the temple. My Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj is the institution. Will give. We should not shy away. We should not come under the compulsion. What is that word? Obligation. We should not come, oh, itna बहुत closely जानता है मुझको, वो दे देता हूँ, ना कैसे बोलूँ मैं. We should never come under obligation. If you are coming under the obligation of known people, that indicates that you are distancing yourself from Krishna and Krishna conscious principles. And in fact, we should inculcate such kind of, that people should know the Krishna conscious life is entirely different. Prabhupada in another place says that people made a business out of devotional service. It became for their livelihood. He also says that how people like to, they have become chanters of the mantras. Because people like to hear the nice chanting, Vedic hymns. Actually, sometimes you have to observe, sometime when we, unknowingly we enter the YouTube, something will go and something else will end up. Sometimes we come up, some Vedic hymns, very nice, this thing, especially Shastriya Sangeet, beautiful Sanskrit renderings, when they recite, whether men or women, it's so pleasing, and one you hear and next we'll get into. In spite of there is a principle in Krishna consciousness that brahmachari should not hear lady's voice. So, but we get driven in that direction. That's how people have such kind of inclination to hear rhythmic chantings. So people started making business out of it. In fact, there are institutions who trains people how to chant nicely so that you can impress the people, so that you can get followers. Followers means money. Today followers means money. I'm just asking one of the congregation devotees' son. I think so he's in degree. No, I think it's a +2 or degree. Probably +2. What do you like to do? What is your future? After this, what you will do? He said, Prabhu, I want to become a YouTuber. Both mother, father, both are initiated. And son wanted to become a YouTuber. So what you will do in YouTube? Khana kaise aega? Prabhu, today that is a profession, he said. I will make KC related videos only. But that has become income. That is another, खेती छोड़ दिया, नया खेती पकड़ लिया. But how much, वो खेती में कितना garbage डालना पड़ेगा? How much garbage you have to put it in your mind? So it has become profession. So Prabhupada feel very compassionate to these people that how it has become even mantra recited, Bhagavat readings has become profession. Somebody is asking, why we should read only as it is book? Everybody keep telling their own books, they will tell you. Why you should read only Prabhupada books? Simple. Phalena parachayate. Bhagavad in Krishna, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dharma, Sarvadharman Pratyajya Mamekam Sharanam. In fact, that is the meaning of total Dharma. The Krishna explains all Dharmas. Dharmasyate Bhagavatas. That he is the personification of religion. If Krishna is the personification of religion, and Lord Krishna gives so many varieties of dharmas, varieties of religious principles in the Bhagavad Gita and the whole Vedic literature. And finally he says, Sarva Dharmana Pratyajya, you give up all the religious principles. Whatever I taught, because every dharma is given by Krishna himself. And he says, give up all that. But when he's saying give up all, he's also saying you accept one more thing. Sarva Dharmana Pratyajya, give up everything. Then he says, Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. That means he is teaching one more religion there. Anything Krishna teaches is religion. Any religion, in the sense, of course, religion is the wrong word. Anything Krishna teaches is the constitutional position. He's asking, give up these things, but accept this. That means give up this, accept this. This comes in the beginning chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Rasavarjam rasamapisya. Paramdrishtva. That you will be able to give up lower thing only when you accept the highest thing, higher thing. So Krishna is saying, give up all these dharmas, give up all these religious practices, but accept this. So you will be able to give up this, only you accept that. Sarva dharman pratyajya mamekam sharanam. You accept, you just surrender unto me. Surrender unto me means what? Surrender activity. You perform activity only in Krishna conscious activities. So this is very difficult thing for the people to adopt. That's why people says, no. Ultimately we are religious. Why are you insisting only to read this book? In fact, yesterday we were hearing an interesting lecture, very nice lecture, Srila Prabhupada was narrating that how hearing Bhagavad Gita from a bona fide right source is very important. Anyone remember that? He says, when the hearing process is perfect and complete, the other process become automatically perfect in their own way. And further, how to make that hearing process perfect and complete? That Prabhupada says that the Bhagavad Gita is one of the popular literature which are generally heard, chanted, repeated, etc. by the people in general. But in spite of such hearing, etc., sometimes it is experienced that the performer of such devotional service does not see the Lord eye to eye. In spite of reading, in spite of hearing, but they are not able to have the very purpose of Bhagavad Gita is that once somebody go through Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, reads and hear thoroughly, repeatedly, they associate, they are supposed to have darshan of the Lord. And how do you know that they are having darshan of the Lord? Wherever your love, wherever your submission. If you love a girl, you'll just always, your thoughts will be around, moving around that girl or a boy. So the whole activity, wherever activities are tended, where your thoughts are moved, where your mind's absorption is, somebody reading Bhagavad Gita and wanted to become big businessman. There's nothing wrong in becoming big businessman. But what Krishna says, Sarva Dharman, you give up the dharma of businessman, dharma of family man. That's not wrong. Becoming businessman, becoming family man is not wrong. But it's one of the dharma. Meant for whom? Meant for whom? People who cannot give up the association of Rajoga and Tamoguna, for them gradually to elevate, different kind of dharmas are presented. So that we should not even minimize and see in a belittling way, oh, he's a businessman, he's not a devotee. No, he is a devotee in another line of following the principles of religion. But what is the ultimate end? Ultimate end is, if not today, by gradually, at one point of time in your life, you should be able to give it up. That's how systematically Vanaprastha, Ashrama Vanaprastha means you should detach from the activities what you're doing in spite of living in this world. You should develop the detachment. Then finally, sannyasa, where sannyasa means that you give up everything for the sake of meditating, for the sake of working for the Lord. Meditating on the Lord. See, Parikshit Maharaj, best example, that he is already devotee of the Lord. By birth, even before birth itself, he has the darshan of the such a great, fortunate soul. Even before birth, in the womb of the mother, he had darshan of the Lord. He came outside and is searching, where is that Lord whom I had darshan? Mother, father, everybody is standing in front of course, unfortunately, he did not have father at the time of his birth. Grandparents, everybody was standing there, everybody is so pleasingly saying, but he is not interested at all to see them. He is searching, where is that person whom I had darshan? Such a beautiful personality. He got so much attracted to Lord Krishna's beautiful form. He was searching for. That's how it's a pariksha. In everybody's face, he's saying, is he Krishna? Is he Krishna? Is he Krishna? Pariksha, examining everybody. So he got named Parikshit. Even that personality, performing his prescribed duties as Rajarshi, at one point of time, when time comes, he realizes, no, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Even though he is performing prescribed duties as Rajarshi, in the footsteps of his grandfathers. So, moment there is an indication by cosmic arrangement. It's the Lord's arrangement. He has to give up. He understood. He has not gone for, no, just imagine. If we change some devotee service, what kind of chemical reaction or emotional reaction a person goes through. Here Parikshit is able to recognize some indication is coming, now I have to give up. He's not attached to the post. And that indication is possible only one is spiritually matured enough. And to get such kind of spiritual maturity, one has to have a devotees association. We know from Srimad Bhagavatam, Dhruva Maharaj, he had the darshan of the Lord, face to face. Merely just 6 months. Such a great austerity. He don't want Krutartosmi, Varam Nayacha, I don't want any benediction. I am already satisfied with your beautiful darshan. I am fully satisfied. I don't want to indulge at all in this world. You don't want to be in Rajarshi. But Krishna wants him to be Rajarshi. Lord wants him to be Rajarshi. So when Krishna wants, no, whatever you like to do, I am your servant. Now, there, no. If Krishna wants, no, you have to be king. No, I don't want to be king. You cannot fight with the Lord there. So, okay, I will accept it. Even though it is not my desire, but you want me? Okay. So, he accepted. When he comes back home, Bhagavatam describes, Prabhupada elaborates in that purport. His father, Uttanapada, what is the duty of the father? Duty of the father is that he should get his children married, daughter or son. But we hear from the Bhagavatam that Dhruva Maharaj got married, by then father has already left the kingdom. He has already gone to the forest. So here he says that how Uttanapada, being a personality, Uttanapada is a Manu's son, a religious king. He knows his responsibility is that he should get his daughter or son married off. And his son is still there, he is not married, and that is his responsibility to marry off his son. But no, he is not bothered for that, he is just going away, went to forest. So Prabhupada writes that he is the person who is spiritually enlightened. A spiritually enlightened person by the association of the devotees, that he discards these prescribed duties are not so important for him. When it comes to self-realization, is more important than the prescribed duties. So he weighed whether I should perform my material duties of performing marriage for my son, or I should look for my spiritual realization. I should go for spiritual realization. There is two things. Then he weighed. Oh, my spiritual realization is more important than performing prescribed duties in this material world. He left. Then after he left, Dhruva Maharaj got married. Because again, he is following the order of Lord. So you just see, when the devotees' qualities are, they are familiar with every subject matter. Of course, there Prabhupada explains that how Uttanapada got such kind of realization, because he came in the association of devotee. Who is that? Dhruva Maharaj himself. Just merely, he is very attached to his son, but when he come back, he's no more, he's not just merely a son, but he's a pure devotee of the Lord who has darshan of the Lord. Just by association of his son, he got such a great realization and given up the material duties and went for spiritual emancipation, spiritual realization. Went to the forest to meditate to Lord Vishnu. So this is what exactly Krishna is teaching in the Bhagavad Gita. Give up all the other duties, other dharmas. Sarva dharmana patyajya. Mamekam sharanam vaja. Surrender unto me. So I was telling about the phalena parichayate. How many people reading Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavatam, has completely given up their life, material life, and taken shelter of Krishna, and only made them Swardhagatim me Vishnu. The goal of life is only to surrender to Krishna. Goal of life, Krishna is the goal of their life. They're working hard to, when that moment will come where I can fully engage in the service of the Lord, I can go back to God. Not even one. By reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. But just imagine, after Srila Prabhupada presented this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam as it is, without any motivation, without any material interpretations, so many thousands of people, they're able to surrender. At least they have understood. Many people understood what is the goal of life. And many people, in fact, even surrendered. And out of the many people already went back to Godhead. What else proof is required? Why you should read only these books? What else you require proof? Otherwise, what will happen? Because there's a sloka in Bhagavad Gita, in third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Then very nicely Krishna explains the nature of the people in this world. How people are performing activities. What is the force which is driving in their life? He says, Karmanyendriyani samyamya yayaste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudatma mityachara savuchyate. Mityachara. Pretenders. They are trying to karmendriyani samyamya. They stopped. As such, they have stopped their karmendriyani. They stopped their activities, sinful activities, or activities of sense gratification. But aste manasa smaran indriyarthan. But in the mind constantly they are thinking about that sense gratificatory activities. They are given up, but still they are constantly thinking. How they can give up? That's called yoga, practice. But mind is completely involved. Even jnana, yoga, all these things will facilitate. They are also sometimes referred as spiritualists. But mind is not fully taken away from the sense objects, fully absorbed in that activities. So we will become devotees, not just by stopping the mundane activities or activities of sense gratification or keeping our senses from, if we don't remove even the thoughts, if not today, tomorrow again we'll go and indulge in the same activities. Same activities indulge. Today we renounce, tomorrow again we'll embrace. Today we say, oh, this is very difficult. No, life is very difficult. No, this is not the way supposed to. Tomorrow, that's also okay. Why? Because the mind, we are not able to purify our mind. And purification of the mind is not based on stopping the indriyas from indriya objects, sense objects. That's not practical, that is not possible. Especially, as Prabhupada elaborated in this purport, Kali-yuga not fit for the three religious principles. Austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. Doesn't have qualification. Especially in Kali-yuga, it's very, very important that to rightly place ourselves, be situated in ourselves by chanting the holy name of the Lord, by taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is channa-avatāra. Channa-avatāra means, and channa means covered incarnation. Why he is not disclosing himself as Supreme Personality of Godhead? He has not come here to perform various leelas to show to the people so that they can get attracted. He has come with one purpose of delivering this holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by which people can get purified, and by which they can cultivate their absorption on the pastimes of the Lord Krishna. And further, dovetail their tendencies, this tamoguna, rajoguna, all these things, these tendencies are there, the pulls are there. Dovetail, nirbandhe, Krishna sambandhe. They perform activities. That ability will get only by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Somebody doesn't chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they don't get ability how to engage activity. We don't need to stop. If we try to stop artificially, not only even through jnana, if you stop, you are not able to remove the seeds from your mind. Again it will come. So that's how the Vedic literature, Ramananda Raya rejected all these things. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected all this process when Ramananda Raya narrates, you have to follow Varnashrama Dharma. He rejected all that. So wherever we are situated, however we are situated, we should be able to chant the holy name of the Lord. That will give the ability to engage our senses, engage ourselves in the service of the Lord. Yajnartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Yajnartat karmano. That for the satisfaction. So we can engage all kinds of activity. We don't need to stop anything. There are three classes of people who engage. One is yogis. Yogis, they start meditating. They meditate. They close their eyes and keep meditating. I will not see a beautiful woman. I will not interact with women because they are sense objects. But actually what happens, Prabhupada says in one class, very funnily, very jokingly, Prabhupada says, of course it is true also. He says that meditation, how much time? 5 minutes? 50 minutes? 5 hours? After meditation, again you keep thinking about them only. So what is the use of such kind of meditation? So there is one class of people who keep meditating that I don't want to associate. Once you come out of the meditation, again same thing. And Prabhupada cites Vishwamitra as the best example. He was sitting for meditation. Indra sends heavenly woman, Menaka. And even though he's closing eyes, and in the meditation, he was completely meditating. Meditation means actually negation from material these things. He wanted to become yogi in spite of being king. But he heard the voice singing and dancing of the celestial woman. He immediately opened the eyes, and so that is the kind of distraction yogis goes through. A second class of people is that let senses go on, we cannot control. There is so many modern so-called spiritualists. That is very dangerous situation. Very, very dangerous situation. What will happen if they just unrestrictedly indulge in sex enjoyment? Adanta gobir vishatam tamishram. They will just go to hell. A person is sitting in meditation trying to control. Another person is just, release unrestrictedly. Just engage. Don't stop. Let it happen the way it has to go on. One third category of the person is that they are thinking, there's so much of trouble simply in sense gratification. So let us control our senses. Brahman Satya, Jagat Mithya. They are Mayavadis, impersonalists. You can't say just impersonalists, they are actually Mayavadis. Everything is Maya, everything is Satya, Satya, Satya. They are also impersonalists, but impersonalists is another category. Like Kumaras, they are impersonalists. But when right time came, they are able to get absorbed in Krishna's beautiful form. So all these things will not help. What will help is that one has to engage in the Yajnarthat, Karmano, that one should engage in for the satisfaction of Krishna, for the satisfaction of the Lord. Yajna means Lord Vishnu. One should be engaged. And that ability to engage in the service of the Lord, because there's so many things are pulling. So many even religious principles also. One is sense gratification, another is religious principles also pulling. To go to Krishna, to do Krishna karma, so one has to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. One should take shelter of the holy name of the Lord. In Kali-yuga, there is only measure. Astir yoko mahan gunaha Krishna kirtanadi Krishnasya. The only means in Kali-yuga to get out of these clutches is kirtanadi eva Krishnasya mukta sangha paramujayati. Mukta sangha. You will become free from the material association. And for that purpose, Lord comes in a covered manner, in a covered incarnation who is not presenting himself as incarnation of God, who is not presenting himself this thing. In fact, whatever pastimes we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, all that pastimes happened in a different, realm. Not for a common man's vision. Many pastimes, what happened in dramas, Krishna's pastime, everything happened in the common man's realm. People were able to see his Adbhuta activities. But what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Chaitanya Charitamrita, what we hear is all happened in a very close circles. Very intimate devotees are able to perceive those. And what public were able to perceive is that he is a teacher, who is a saint, who is a devotee of Lord Krishna, who is teaching, chanting the holy name of the Lord. And this is known as channa-avatāra. So, we should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly. That will give the energy and enthusiasm to further engage for the pleasure of the Lord. Our senses are engaged. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Then we will be situated in true bhakti. And that will take us back to Godhead, which we will be able to remember everything what we have gone through. May not be detailed, but general nature will remember, which will help us never to come back again. One thing is that attachment, unless you develop that attachment, you cannot go back to Godhead. That is attachment to the Lord. And second thing is even remembrance about the material world. Sheets of remembrance also will remain. We'll stop here. Any question or comments? It's beneficial to the degree. Their aim is not to go back to God. Their aim is that they wanted to protect religious principles. They are performing authorized pujas. Maybe it is for livelihood, but they will not get benefit. Ultimate benefit will not get. If somebody do charity, naturally they will be well situated. But one should not do any activity to be situated well in this world. So there is a different stages. So we don't have to belittle anybody for that matter. When we speak from Srimad Bhagavatam, the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam is Param Vrajet, to go back to Godhead. शांति चाहिए इस दुनिया में और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. नो आपको शांति चाहिए, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बट शांति while living, but what at the end after giving up this body? There is no aim for that. They are not working for that. If people are working for aiming for to go to back to Godhead, in their process, they are peaceful even in this life also. So Krishna consciousness offer both. You be peaceful, be comfortable, free from anxieties, free from struggle for existence while you are living. And after giving up the body, go to back to Godhead permanently. But these dharmic principles will help a person to be situated. If not in this life, at least next life will become more comfortable. In this life, probably you may have to go through so much of struggling because so much of karma you are carrying. But the kind of activities you are performing now, at least next life, whether in this life also there are so many phases, no? So many phases in life. Probably next phase, 10th phase of life. Probably maybe sometimes people say, no, आराम से चला गया. आराम से चला गया मतलब he's not in the bedridden, he's not on the bottles and this thing. Just शरीर में गिर गया, मर गया. That is also great fortune. It's not an ideal thing. Otherwise, how much struggle, how much, maybe in different phase of life you'll get, you'll have some less pain. Or in the next life, you'll have no pain. So we should not belittle all such kind of religious practices because religious practice is given by the Lord. But here we are here for param, highest thing. And everybody will not be able to understand that. So we'll be teaching, Bhagavatam is teaching all kinds of principles. Bhagavad Gita is also teaching all kind of principles, all kind of dharmas. But who will be able to accept the ultimate dharma? That is possible only by coming in contact with a bona fide spiritual master, bona fide, a pramanik guru. Rest of the people, that Brahmana, this Brahmana, that Swamiji, this Swamiji, that Guru, this Guru, some benefit they will get. Some benefit they will get. It's okay. You require all kinds of people, different kinds of people. 7 billion people are there. Some people are catering something. But the only problem is that if they cater, Satyanarayan व्रत कीजिए, घर अच्छा होगा, अच्छे बच्चे जन्म लेंगे, good, no doubt. We should appreciate them. But they say, यही जीवन का परमावधि है. This is the ultimate goal of life. That's where the conflict comes. If we say that this is good, you perform this ritual, something good will happen in your family, it's okay. Everybody needs some good now in this world. We also say, come to temple, अच्छा हो जाएगा. What is that अच्छा? Basically, ये तमाम प्रपद्यन्ते ताम सा तथैव भजाम्यहम्. The degree of faith they develop, to that degree, aspirations अच्छी चीज हो जाता है उनका जीवन में. ऐसे नहीं सबको आप आ जाइए हमको फ्लाइट में बिठा देंगे लेके जाएंगे हम डरेंगे हम नहीं जाना है. क्यों नहीं जाना है? बाल बच्चे को कौन पालन करेगा? Who will take care of my family? Who will take care of my... So they will get afraid. Don't tell that आपको वैकुंठ लेके जाएंगे तुरंत. Because people are not ready. People are not ready. So make them ready by giving Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Let them chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Bring that kind of consciousness in them. So that's how Prabhupada says, from very Krishna's words, that we should respect Brahmanas, even though they are not fully bona fide, but at least they have taken shelter of some scriptures, the religious principles they are following. So we should respect, even though they are corrupt. Like politicians, even though they are corrupt, we respect them because they hold the power. They hold the power. So like that, Brahmanas, at least some good is there in them. So we should respect them. Any sadhus, even Mayavadi sadhus, Prabhupada says, from distance you pay obeisances, he says. So we should respect them in order to minimize, and we should not become fanatics as such. Krishna consciousness is inclusive. We know everybody is great. If somebody is in the first standard, somebody is 10th standard. We know there are different layers are there, levels are there. Any other question? Mandir Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.